Hey guys! Although I've done a lot of wild camps recently, only one of them, my very first, was solo. This is only my second solo wild camp. Still very much feeling the nerves, so we will just have to see how it goes. So I'm sort of expecting this video to have a bit of a different vibe to it because the pitch spot is actually like 5 minutes walk away from here, so I don't really have much in the way of like a journey or scenery to show you, but hopefully it will be kind of a cozy feel. You know, I brought some wine, I brought some chocolate, bought some food, bought my journal, bought both my binoculars. So yeah, I'm just hoping just to have a nice evening by myself out in nature in a beautiful woodland. And I thought I'd just take you along with me. So, a bit of a different feel, but hopefully you'll enjoy it just as much as I think I will. One thing I must do is remember that I've got a wine bottle in my side pocket and we don't have like a wine plugger or whatever they're called yet, so I've just got a piece of tin foil wrapped over the top, so if I just chuck my bag off with abandon when I get to the pitch like I frequently do, that is not going to end well. So I must remind myself, this is me making a mental note. It's so windy tonight. Just got to wait for the wind to calm down. So the plan is to head in there, and if you're staring close, that looks like an impenetrable forest of baby conifers, then yeah, you're pretty much right. But I followed a little animal run in there yesterday, and if you're willing to get a little bit prickled for a little bit, you can actually make it your way in, and there just so happens to be a perfectly tent-sized cubby hole in there, which is perfect for me as a little solo camper that's still not quite comfortable with it, because there's no way anyone's going to find or see me in there, so I'm going to feel very safe, very cozy. Yeah, we're just going to get our way back in there, see if I can retrace my steps and not get spiked while I do it. Halfway there, I've just found a tree stump to stand on. It's always nice to get a high vantage point, even if it's just like a few extra inches. You can really see where you are. It is just dense. Dense, dense, dense. Just gotta carry on that way somewhere. Right, here we are. I made it. Did manage to retrace my steps just about. Got a few little unnecessary prods from gorse bushes on the way through. Didn't appreciate that, but I guess they're not so used to people trampling through, so fair enough. Ooh. Did you hear that? That's one note squeak. It's a woodpecker. Anyway, I must be rude, let's show you around. Let's welcome you in for the night. On the whole, it's actually very bumpy, uneven terrain, but I have found like a Chloe-sized line that I can lie down in and be comfy. So I'm going to pitch the tent over that, and the overall floor plan of the tent may be a bit all over the place, but there will be a lovely place for me to lie down and sleep, and that is more than good enough for me. So here it shall be. So the place I'm pitching my tent is actually an animal run. You can see it's clearly a path that's been carved out, and it's certainly not going to be humans. Mainly I can tell that because who's going to get in here? No one is. Also, human paths tend to be really wide. We just take up space. Animal paths, it can depend on the animal, but they tend to be much narrower. And there's lots of clues that can tell you what animal it would be. If it's deer, then look for some hair that they've left. With hair like badgers and humans, if you bend it, you know, it just falls back in shape. It doesn't really do anything. But deer hair is hollow, and so it will often snap if you bend it because it's just really brittle, not very strong, or if you bend it, it will just stay in the shape that you bend it in. So that's a really great way to tell deer hair that you didn't ask for. Okay, tent is up. There is a bit of a sapling where my porch should be, but they were here first, so it's okay. They were here first. What I mean about it being a bit uneven. He's all tough though. He's all tucked. Quite a good mattress. And here's the Chloe shaped bit I'll lie along tonight. Alright folks, I'll give you 3 guesses what I just did, which I told you earlier I really must not do. I knew I'd do this. I chucked my bag in the tent. What was in the side of my bag? The wine bottle. So there we go. Looks a bit like something untoward's happened in here, doesn't it? Don't know how to clear that up. Just looking around, what can I use in nature to clear up red wine? Because that's gonna stain like hell. I can't sleep in there. You know, when I first saw it, I was like, God, that moss is extremely moist. To get that much water coming up through my ground sheet. Then I realised it was red, and then it clicked. God damn it. Normally I would not advocate trashing nature like this, but I have got some sphagnum moss. I mean, it's absorbent, right? So it should work with red wine as well as water. It's kind of worked. Like, look. It's all red winey stain now. My tent is less red winey. There's also like bits of moss all over the tent. The greatest tragedy of this all, of course, is that I now have half the quantity of wine that I came out with. Who let me solo wild camp? I can't adult alone, clearly. This is such a nice time of day. I feel so relaxed. The sun's like going down and it's really calm, but the birds are really active, so it's really cool to be able to watch them. They are crepuscular, which is the fancy word for saying an animal that's active, or most active, at dawn and dusk. There's gold crests flying everywhere in front of me, like darting in and out, and stone chats in the pine trees, but I just can't get a shot of them. They just like, they go on a branch and then they're on another, gone, and they don't return to the same place. And all the crows over the last 15 minutes have just been steadily trickling over and going that direction. So they'll be going to roost. They're communal roosters. They sleep together in trees. So yeah, I'm gonna take my cue and start settling down like them. Lovely pastel colours tonight. Really lovely. truth serum, the wine, I thought we could just have a chat. It's been a hot minute since I've done a solo wild camp. In fact, I've only ever done one. It was my first ever wild camp. It was a few months back. And to be fair, ever since, I've done wild camp pretty much each week, which is incredible because it went from being not a part of my life at all to being like a mainstay in my life. But yeah, I haven't done a solo one. And until recently, that wasn't because I was trying to avoid it. It's just the way it's worked out. The one thing I didn't realise is that I'd built up a real fear of doing a solo wild camp again. So last week was a week I suddenly thought, oh, I should do one again. And I felt anxiety creep in big time. And I was actually planning to do a wild camp last week and I bailed. I just didn't feel good about it. Honestly, when I really drill down to it, my fear about wild camping is getting murdered in the night, which is really irrational because if that was really a genuine risk, I wouldn't even head out in the first place. Yet here I am. It's literally just when it's dark and you're alone in the tent and you're hearing noises and your mind gets freaked out. And it's so hard to combat the irrational mind because it's irrational, right? You can't really fight it with rational thoughts, which is frustrating. I did want to just combat this head on because I didn't want it to be an anxiety that built up over time. I really want to be able to do these solo adventures. So I don't know what about today it was, but I just felt really good about going out for a camp. And here I am. And yeah, I don't know. Dare I say it, apart from the wine stains back there, it's going really well. Check it out. I found a really good wine holder for my wine, so I won't spill it again. I forgot a pillow, but I did remember a candle. So, arguably, I definitely forgot the most useful thing. But at least the tent's gonna smell lovely when I rest my head upon the air mattress. It would just make it a bit more cozy because I was feeling a bit anxious. Just make a tent a home. Flap. I always love this bit, even though you know what you're gonna see. It just, I don't know, I just get excited. You know, like when you're at home and you get out of bed, like it's a new day already, you're kind of straight into it. But with a tent, there's something kind of like ritualistic about peeling back the tent flap at first. You kind of feel like you're literally opening up and starting the new day yourself on your own terms. It's just really cool, just like it. Good part of camping, that one. Good moment. Forest before. Always cool to see a new species. I'm really hoping to see like a red squirrel one day. I know they're here because sadly I found one dead beside the road just at the entrance to the forest and it looked young, so there must be breeding red squirrels here, but I am yet to see one, so alive, so that's on my list. And I'm now really procrastinating and just bird watching instead of putting the tent down because it's really wet and I just can't be bothered to do it. And you might say, Chloe, just stay here and birdwatch. Sounds like a really good idea. Yeah, it does, except that I came out on a work night and I've got to be at work in like an hour. So, yeah, I should probably get going. Yeah, probably. I have to remember to get him out when I get the tent down. And genuinely remember this time, not just like with the wine. got him. Beetles are more important than wine to remember, that's the takeaway. Very pretty. Oh, he just fell. Let's put him somewhere I won't accidentally trample him. Hey bud. That is abysmal. That is without a doubt the worst tent folding I've ever done. I don't think you could even call it folding, to be honest. I'm really hungry, I really need to get back to work, and I can't be bothered to do it properly. And I'll have to dry it out later anyway. So there's my 3 excuses for you for that mess. Promise I'll fix it later. Just gotta somehow get it in the bag now actually. That is actually the bigger problem, I've just realised. I think I'm just gonna stuff it like you do a sleeping bag. Yes! Oh, you really didn't think that would work? Magic. And now it's time to head back whence I came, through the thicket. So I thought I'd just give you some summary thoughts while I try and get back through here without poking my eye out or something. I didn't have a good night's sleep, but what was different was I didn't have that fear and anxiety that I sometimes even have when camping with someone else. I just felt totally relaxed, and that was transformational, to be honest. That was amazing. I feel like I've really turned a corner. I'm not saying I'm always going to feel like that going forward, because I think my pitch really helped. I did feel genuinely totally secure because look where I was, like no one was going to find me. But just the fact that I know I can feel that way that's a real win. That's great. So sorry if today was a bit chaotic, to be honest. You know, I forgot good things like a pillow, but I remembered a candle scented with heather. When the area I am is scented with heather anyway. I remembered a half empty bottle of wine, which I spilt everywhere. It's just been a bit rushed because it was a Thursday night, a work night, and I decided just to come out. And because I haven't come very far and the scenery isn't like very variable, I didn't have loads of my normal style to show you, so I've just ended up chatting a lot, which I did. And to top it all off, my phone then ran out of battery, so my filming cut out. What I was trying to say is that I ended up chatting a lot more than I usually do in my videos, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. If you did, feel free to give this video a like and subscribe, and I'll link my wild camping playlist if you want to join me on more relaxing camps. And hopefully I'll see you next time. Thank you so much for watching.